Keith, what do you think happened? How do you think this took place?
Early that evening, where this all started was in the shower of the master bedroom, which has glass doors on it. And there's one drop of Rebecca's menstrual blood, we believe, on the floor there. Something happens then, and she winds up on the opposite side of the house with her cell phone and with a towel wrapped around her that winds up getting dropped on the floor right outside the bedroom where she's murdered. The crime scene photos show that the towel is on the ground right next to 4 more drops of blood, so she must have stood there for a while the confrontation occurred, and then when it got out of control, she dropped the towel, she ran to try and escape, she screamed for help. The screams were heard by a neighbor. At that point in time, she struck on the back of the head 4 times, which according to Dr. Weck would be sufficient to render her at least partially unconscious, if not totally unconscious. We think at that point in time her legs were taped together because there is tape residue on her shins, on both legs. She was gagged and bound. We believe then that sometime after that then she is sexually assaulted because of a smear mark on her left inner thigh, which is a transfer mark from the smaller steak knife.
Okay, and it's this knife.
It was interesting with this, and you could see this in the police photos. You see the 3 rivets that are here? Mm-hmm. On the photos, this rivet's red. The bottom rivet is red on the police photo, and they thought that was blood. The other side also had red on the rivet, and they showed it was Rebecca's blood because they swabbed it. Our expert looked at it and then said, hey, if there's blood on this side and there's blood on this side, I bet there's blood on all sides, because she was concerned this may have been a sexual assault. After that, he painted the saying on the door, you know, she saved him, can you save her? He went downstairs, he got the red ski rope there, which he then cut into a few pieces. He tied up her legs, he tied her hands behind her back, he tied a noose around her neck and tied the rope to the bed. That's the exact type of rope that was used. Yeah. Now, we allege that she woke up after she was unconscious and after she'd been tied up already, and she attempted to escape. And in part we base it on is on the knife that's right next to you there. A knife of this type was found in the room, may have been used to cut the ropes. But the sheriff said that, again, only Rebecca's fingerprints are found on the knife, so it must have been Rebecca who did this. But it was really odd because the fingerprints were on it like this, with the sharp part pointing towards you. It just doesn't make sense. But then when I go like this and hold it behind my back, the fingerprints all come into place. Another part that was unusual was her thumbprint was on it, and if you were going to cut with a knife, you'd have your thumb on this side and you'd be cutting downward, right? But the thumb was on this side. You can't cut that way. You can't cut your leg, right? It comes right off. But if you put it behind your back, that's how you cut. And so all of a sudden, and again, there's no DNA, no fingerprints on the handle. It was wiped, but he didn't wipe off the blade, and the blade reflected that thumb with it being held in this position. She was trying to get that to cut herself free.
So she's in defense mode at this time. She's trying to escape. You think she's been captured and she's trying?
She's a fighter, and so she's trying to escape, and we believe at that point in time, then he strangled her.